play this. I want to get into some Biden, but before I do that, I want to look at this. This is the images because they came out with the images of Jupiter recently because they got some really cool pictures. And
Hmm.
anyway, so this right here is a picture to give you a size understanding of how big Jupiter is. So can you are you not driving? You said you can look at the
No,
screen. This screen is showing these planets by size. So here at the bottom, you have the moon for Earth, Earth's moon, and then it has Pluto and Ceres. I don't know about Ceres that
that's
much.
a new one, but I mean, it's got to be just as dwarf as Pluto, right? Like
Right, it's
Pluto is supposed
small.
to be like a
It's smaller than Pluto, as this illustration shows.
like 5 times smaller. So that's what
Uh,
I'm saying. Like that's thin to like a rock.
right.
You
So
know.
how can you call that a planet? And it's kind of like Pluto too, because it's smaller
Well,
than
I
the
mean,
moon.
if it's falling into alignment with within the solar system, if it's because I mean,
Well,
really, I mean,
we got the asteroid belt. It does that.
no, man,
It,
no. But does it fall in sync with the rest of the planets?
Yeah, it's circulating the sun just like the rest of them. They all got different orbits, but it's orbiting the sun just like them. Let me
I guess. All right.
I think there used to be a planet there too. There's something to that. So okay, so the next is Mercury in size, and then Mars, then Venus, and Earth. Just a little bit bigger than Venus.
Yeah.
Um, but that's pretty. That's one thing that's weird about Earth is because it's kind of big for a rocky planet. So, and that's why they think that that's why we how we got the moon and maybe even the asteroid belt. Another planet crashed into Earth, and once it coalesced, it was bigger.
Hmm.
So, okay,
I was listening to your boy the other day. Well, go ahead, finish.
yeah, let me finish this right quick. It goes to Neptune and Uranus, how big they are as compared to the Earth, Venus, Mars, and Mercury. Pretty freaking big, you see.
Well, I mean, they don't get talked about a whole lot. Cause I mean, with them being so big, cause I mean, that's probably about what's both of them about the same size. So I mean, that seems to be like 10 times, like 6 to 10 times bigger than Earth.
Yeah, pretty fucking big. But they're considered ice giants or what is it called? Ice giants or whatever. So it's like, but and then too, they don't know much about they don't know much about those atmospheres. So that's probably why they don't get talked about much because we just don't know as much about them. And then you got Saturn and Jupiter, and so this illustration kind of tripped me out because I didn't realize Saturn was so close to the size of Jupiter. I always knew Jupiter was big as fuck, but I didn't realize how big Saturn was.
Yeah. Um, I I never really. I kind of knew that they were bigger, but I didn't realize they were like. That's crazy.
Yeah, look at the Earth down here. Look at the moon. Look at what was that? Sirius. Sirius looks like a pin dot.
So I mean, are those the main things keeping the solar system balanced, or like, are they? You know what I'm
That's one
saying?
way to look at it. I mean, they're very important to our solar system, especially Jupiter for us. Jupiter helps us out so much because all of the freaking asteroids and shit that comes in our near atmosphere, our near solar system, gets sucked up by Jupiter's fucking gravity because it's so fucking big. And it's like they don't know much about it. They know that as you go into it, the like gravity or whatever, it gets so hard. Like they can't get anything to go further. Like to, they think it's like just gases, and the gases keep getting more and more like pressurized as you go further into the atmosphere. But they
Hmm.
haven't found any land yet. They can't get anything to go as their instruments get destroyed before it ever gets to some land. So it's they don't know. It's just freaking gases and it's freaking really uh, pressurized as you go into it. So yeah, so but it sucks up all of the freaking everything that comes into our little area. It sucks it up and they hit that planet instead of us. Really good for us to have. That's why it's so crazy. The Earth is in the perfect little spot, like the Goldilocks zone, just far enough from the sun, you know, to
Hmm.
have liquid water. You know what I'm saying? Perfect and just close enough to not fucking burn to death or whatever the hell and not be frozen. And then it has these other planets in the solar system that acts as like protectors. Uranus and Neptune is further out, but Jupiter is closer to us, and it freaking protects us. It's our big buddy. You could call it father and mother here with Saturn over here to the left.
Yeah, I would definitely use that analogy. Hmm.
And then let's see the sun here. So they're gonna give you the
Oh wow.
perspective of how big the sun is compared to this. So Jupiter is big as hell there. But look at the size of Jupiter compared and Saturn compared to the sun.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That puts
But
things in perspective.
for real, for real.
And how important is what's going on the little dot here or that's Earth? We can't even see it barely, you know? In the perspective of just our solar system, not even counting the universe, how important is it really what's going on here on this little dot right here that's floating around in space?
Man, that's why people need to wisen up.
Stop tripping. Stop being so fucking like it's the end of the world with your freaking because your
Yeah,
relationship came to an
yeah. I
end.
mean,
So somebody has to do it, y'all. We can't keep going like this. Y'all know that this way we're living is unsustainable. Y'all can feel it. It's crazy too. The name of the show today is Internet Separated. So it's the idea that the internet, it seemed like, the whole idea was to connect us, to bring us closer together, so we could interact more with each other. But from what I can see is that it has the opposite effect. It has had the opposite effect. We're more isolated than ever with this weird feeling of connection because of the likes and shit. You know what I'm saying? The subscribes, the views, and we're all just really just sitting alone in our room like I am right now and broadcasting to people and making stuff and hoping that someone pays attention to it and likes it and whatever the hell. I'm not above the rest of them. I'm on here on the internet too, you know. And but really we're separated. We're so separated. We're so lonely, you know? And the internet gives us this artificial connection. Like it makes us feel like we've made a connection with people, like that we're communicating with people and reaching out or whatever the hell. But we're not really. It's through this screen, it's through this fakeness, it's through this curtain, it's through this plastic. It's not really a real connection. It's not really a real, communication. Not really. I mean, I guess you could say it when we leave in texts or whatever and we texting back and forth, but that's not really what I mean. I mean that, you have the cam girls, the only fan people, you have the TikTokers, you have well, let's call them content creators, and it's cool. I consider myself a content creator, but what do these people do all day? Are they really interacting with people? Even the ones that have 350K, 1 million, 2 million subscribers, how much interaction with other people is really going on? You know, I mean, I love being creative. Now, don't get me wrong. That's a part of society that's missing, and I think that's the reason why we have this explosion of these content creators because we're starved in the area of being creative. We're starved in the area of art, you know? We're starved in the area of being able to like expand our mind and really think outside of the box. They say think outside of the box, but then they say not like that. So, but we're at the same time, that content creator is not really connecting with people very much. Maybe his art or his creation is, you know, but you are not, and you are sitting there alone in your room creating stuff. But how much are you going out and interacting with people? Now, I used to do music, and like the music crowd and the art crowd is kind of intertwined. It's always kind of local and underground and behind this curtain. Like, you kind of got to know. And it's all the same groups too. It's all the same people because you go to different events around the city, and it's the same people because these people are attracted to these kind of events. So the thing is, though, with the art, right, and the music, for you to be able to be successful in the art or the music, you have to have built like a community. You have to build like a connection with people, real people, and you can't do that really over the internet. Like the only way you can really do that is by being on the scene and chopping it up with these people and building relationships with these people. Because anybody that knows has been in the business, your success lies on the connections that you've made. As simple as that. What they say, your network is equals your net worth or some shit like that. So how well you network is how successful you're gonna be in this. And that probably is true for everything, but I know it for a fact when it comes to music and art because I've been on that scene. So really, every time you go to these events, you're networking. You're looking for connections. You're chopping it up with people. You're kind of looking for friends. You're kind of looking for people who kind of thinking like you or moving like you or trying to do something that you're trying to do. Or maybe they don't even move like you and think like you, but you see a value that they could bring to something that you're doing, and that'll bring a value to something that they're doing. And if that other person sees that, then boom, y'all got a thing going. So anyway, so what my point is that the internet has us separated, and I think we're lonely as hell, like I am right now, talking to myself on that on the mic, you know, um, just expressing my thoughts. This is me being creative, but at the same time, um, it would be better if I could do this in front of a crowd, and actually move around and talk to people, real life people, you know, that'll be much more impactful. You know what I'm saying? So, my point is that, it seemed like the internet was supposed to bring us together, but it seems like it has had the opposite effect. But then I think about it and I'm like, so is it because of the way we use the internet is the reason why it has separated us? Are we choosing to be more separated? And we're using the internet to be more separated because we want it to be more separated. And that's a dun 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 moment. Like it makes me think, like, you know, and then our society maybe is driving us into this, They want us to feel this way. They want us to feel lonely. They want us to feel separated. So, and we doing the job for them, creating these separations, all these different categories that we put ourselves in so that we can be separated from each other. So it's like, I think there's a reason for that, of course we're weaker if we're separated, we're a community animal, man. We're a community animal. We're not freaking we don't thrive well as individuals or whatever. Like what I'm trying to say is the only way we accomplish things as humans is in a group. Like I was watching a video and it was talking about even ideas and inventions. Then it's an illusion to say that these things were created by one person because they're always influenced. Even an idea got influenced, even an invention got influenced, and you really need to think about that in context of yourself and being successful in the world. And people feel like, Elon Musk's, he's so successful, so, but how many people helped him along the way? How many times was he inspired here, there and here? If he was separated from all of these people, would he have been successful? Would he have accomplished what he did? I mean, come on. What's the reality on that? The reality is that he wouldn't. We need other people. That's how we do. That's how we move. That's how we create. That's how we grow. That's how we function. That's the reason why we're so dominant on this planet, is because it really has to do with our tool of communication. Our language is our greatest freaking technology that we use because we're intricate with it. And we can even use facial expressions. And this is part of our evolution. We have the eyes in the front of our face. And whenever somebody, they post on the internet, they show it in slow motion. Do y'all recognize this guy? He did this crime, da 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 da. Anybody recognize him? Call in. And it's crazy because we're all humans and we all have the same similar facial structures, but we have this intricate communication that comes with faces, so we can really identify all those little bitty intricate differences. And so somebody else might not be able to tell these two people apart, but the person that knows them intricately can tell, like a mom who has identical twins. So what I'm saying is our greatest technology is our ability to communicate, our ability to, that's our tool. And so so communication and cooperation is our great tool. That's how we do everything. And that's how we're successful, period. So when they tell you like you're an individual and you just pull yourself up by your bootstraps, then they're full of shit, because that isn't how anything works. Not for humans. As long back into our evolution, we always lived in groups. If you were solitary, that was a freaking punishment. That was a freaking being banished. That was like going to prison. That was like death too, because you're most likely not going to make it out there alone, period. So we had to move around in groups for us to be alive, for us to grow and communicate and live and thrive. But they told y'all something.